explain to me, Cecil, as if I'm retarded,
Mhm.
what is ComicsGate? Because that is the umbrella under which I met you
Yes.
and several other dear friends.
Well, back in like 2017, this is when comic book and Marvel DC just began their woke explosion, and they were casting out anybody right leaning from the industry. But
How did you know that they were going woke? What was the first thing they put
I'll be
out or
honest,
did?
what happened was I was a avid reader for, I mean, I have tens of thousands, but I did take off probably from 2005 to about 2017. I had taken off. I was married. I was doing things. I was just not buying comics. So I missed this whole like slide into, PC and what happened. I was spending a lot of time. I had somebody, a family member was in the hospital. So I was spending a lot of time in the hospital. So there was a comic book store nearby. I hadn't bought comics in years. So I went and bought a stack. And
Were
I was
you
like,
were you bringing comic books to the hospital but really like I'll read these to you, Grandma,
yeah,
and
no,
really you're
no.
just
They
like
were
reading
they
just
were
for
for me.
yourself?
They were for,
Yeah.
I was like, don't touch that. It's in the plastic.
Don't take it out.
Yeah. So I'd read it and I go, man, that was shit. And that's shit. I was like, what? And I just literally said, what the fuck happened to comics? I
Uh,
typed in to Google, what the fuck is wrong with comics? And it came up to a video. It recommended a video for a guy named Captain Cummings. And then he recommended a guy named Diversity in Comics. And this guy was railing, saying, like, this has gone woke. They're destroying the comic book industry.
wow.
And from that, an entire community of disenfranchised comic book fans were all just trying to, at the beginning of it was really just trying to get the industry to change. They were like reaching out to the artists, the writers, being like, what are you doing? You're ruining everything. And they were really combative. They were like, fuck you, Nazi, was Marvel's response to anybody who complained. So what happened is a lot of the pros that were kicked out, if you were right leaning or voted for Trump, you were not getting work in Marvel and DC. They started gravitating
Wow.
over, started producing. There were smaller indie guys, and then bigger guys that were pros came over, and it became a pretty big movement of independent comic book
And they
creators
kind of
and fans.
didn't know where to go. They didn't have jobs. They didn't.
They weren't getting work from the mainstream anymore. You're basically blacklisted if you were a Trump voter. Ethan Van Sciver was probably, Ethan.
Oh yeah.
He was definitely like,
And it's like, do you have transferable skills to try to do something else? Like, were they trying to get other jobs at all, or were they just like,
well,
we're screwed?
they saw, he had an independent comic book from the 90s, and then became very famous doing Flash and Green Lantern. He's a big personality, so when he came over to ComicsGate, he brought a big audience.
Who like decided? I keep interrupting you, which is bad. But
That's fine.
who like decided to call it ComicsGate?
That was what they the SJWs were calling it, like, as a pejorative. They're like, oh, those are comics gators. They're like the conspiracy theorists. They see woke in everything. They're comics gators. So then we just adopted it as
Took it back, like the N word.
Yes, like much like the N word,
Cool.
which flows very freely in here off air. Which I never realized.
Oh, I had to make sure we
Yeah.
weren't recording a number of times. Because my baby has a toy that records your voice and then plays it back to you. So we were just getting creative with it. That's all. We were just giving the baby examples of different words, things to, things to
Baby's
shout.
first N word.
Yeah, you know what? Like, why should your first word be ball or mama or something? So many other babies have said, why can't your first word be the N word?
Yeah.
It's an option, You better say it now before you're older and you'll get canceled.
You want him to learn please right afterwards.
Yeah.
Takes the sting out.
Yeah. Okay, so they're calling it ComicsGate.
So I was basically somebody in the chat. I was a fan, not a creator. Ethan, I made a couple videos trying to support the cause because I wanted this thing to grow. I wanted there to be a big fan movement of alternative media for people who were disenfranchised by Marvel DC, because they were just really just pedal to metal, unreadable, unsellable woke shit. And it was just every single character was getting a race swap. Every single character was being either trans or homosexual. Across the board, they were just pushing,
and, like, all at once. It was
all
suddenly...
at once, everything.
Wow.
So we, the smaller indie creators were here first, then the bigger guys that came from the industry. So it's just a big network of disenfranchised fans and artists and writers. I was doing small videos. I got onto the shows because I was kind of vocal and funny. And then Ethan was like, "Yo, you should write a comic. You're really funny." And I wrote a comic.
Oh my God, here it is. Cash grab.
This was a big hit. It did like a couple $100,000 on Indiegogo.
Wow.
And I went to go do part 2, in which the character Cecil is trans.
But you're Cecil.
Yeah, well, it's
is it the self-insert?
Loosely based.
Look at this. There's a butt crack and everything.
So, the part 2, Cecil goes to a woman's prison and transitions into womanhood.
Can I show this?
Yes.
Right. There's a story behind this.
Yeah.
Picture.
That's the great Donald DeLay, my artist, and immediately was kicked off my my crowdfunding platform. Yeah, there's the picture of Cash Grab 2. Just that image had me. They deleted my account, canceled me. That took a financial hit, big financial
Didn't
hit.
Say, hey, Cecil, you might want to change your photo.
No, nothing. No warning, and never answered a single email. And this is somebody we did hundreds of thousands of dollars business with.
So where the money gets returned?
No, they canceled it just on that coming soon. Basically, I showed that picture and coming soon, and they deleted my account. So I didn't even get to collect any money for that campaign. They deleted it on site and don't answer any phone calls, don't answer anything.
This person back here is holding a shank with a plunger.
Yes.
I mean, this is really creative.
It's beautiful. It's art is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's timely, It
is.
It's
timeless.
I would think I wanted to put out literature that somebody who's maybe going through a transition would feel, hey, I'm seen. This is for me. I wanted to reach out to trans youth.
God.
I wanted.
There's nude cartoons in here.
Yes. It's basically rated R Mad Magazine. That's what I'm going for. It's 80s sex
You can
comedy.
see pubes in this.
Yes. What? Yeah, there's titty, there's balls, there's.
I'll get this.
I'm not showing the titty and balls.
But it's basically 80s sex comedy level. It's National Lampoon. It's, like I said, rated R Mad Magazine is what I'm going for. It's very funny, and but yeah, I had to move over to a new platform. Thank God, there's a place called FundMyComic, and they have picked up. I'm over there, but they're much smaller, so I'm not getting the same kind of response. But I hope people would follow me over. Go to fundmycomic.com and pick up Cash Grab 2 there.
Grab
it, and if you haven't picked up Cash Grab 1. First of all, what the fuck is wrong with you? But second, fix that about yourself. Go to my eBay store, Cash Grab on eBay.
Right, because if you have Cash Grab 2, you might not be able to follow along.
It's very heady stuff. You wouldn't be able to jump in. Yeah,
you can't just jump in. It's not double dutch, people.
It's very, very Or if you have an IQ over 80, you probably could jump right in.
I will not be able to jump
you would
right
probably want to start there.
Start at the beginning.
Yes.
This one's signed, people.
You know what's more slimming than wearing black? Stop eating. Fuck you, Chuck Castle. He's right, though.
Chuck, let's see what you look like, all right? How about get an actual photo of yourself in your thing?
Yeah.
Oh, Viking became a member. Thanks, Viking. Can you guys hear that when it comes up on the screen?
Yeah, they should be able to hear that notification.
Oh, Chrissie is on the Trump cover on Cash Grab.
I am.
Can you show that?
Your artist was inspired by me.
I asked him if it was you. He said no, and I'm like, everybody
Liar.
says it looks. And he goes, and he's like, I was actually listening to her while drawing this cover. He's like, I did that without even realizing it.
Oh my God,
he is a fan. That's the great Dan Lawless.
In people's heads.
Now scroll up a little. I'll show this character. This is John Malin.
Is she holding?
You don't know. This is John Malin's artwork. But hold on, scroll back down to that one. This is a character. You know what a kaiju is? Like a Godzilla.
Okay.
This is a literal kaiju.
A super Jew.
This is like a 60-story Jew.
Wow.
He's a new.
Imagine how much rent he could collect.
He's smashing open a bank. The kaiju is a character in the new book.
That's funny.
And scroll up, and after Trump won, I had the great Dan Lawless. That was John Malin. This is Donald DeLay. Scroll up to the Trump cover. That's the great El Keon. Go up, go to the color one. You can buy the line art variant. Here is the color one.
Wow.
And there is the great Trump.
Am I on the ground?
You are, next to Melania.
Is that Peanut?
There's Peanut, the squirrel. There's
Peanut.
Fred. His the UFC belt. There's Kathy Griffin in the corner, on
Oh,
head on a
her
pipe.
head, her clown
Uh,
head.
Lots of Easter eggs in there. Scroll down, we can see. There's
Oh my
Chrissy,
God, it's me.
and she's wearing the what is that called
a
again?
dog. It looks like a dog cone of shame.
No, it's what is that called again?
A Handmaid's Tale bonnet.
Handmaiden Tale bikini. We wanted to class it up for Trump, so we made the
Wow.
Handmaiden Tale bikinis.
That's gonna be me. After I lose the baby weight, I'm gonna get that exact outfit and
Yeah.
do that exact pose.
And then yes, I hope my body is his choice, because this was
And
This
look,
is-
I'm saying that.
handmade in America.
I'm so flattered.
Yes.
What's this
So-
guy's name again?
This is the great Dan Lawless. And
Dan Loss. It looks like that woman on the right is sniffing this woman's crotch.
it does look like that.
She's just like leaning down, going,
He just said he reached out to Anna and asked if he could put her on the cover. So there will be more titty and ass on
"Ooh."
here, and possibly Anna. So.
Yes. Yeah, put Anna where the crotch sniffer is.
These.
She's
So yeah,
a mom now. Maybe not.
go sure. But you're a mom.
I feel changed.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So I cut you off. You were explaining ComicsGate to me. So this started around 2015,
No, 2017, 2018.
2017, 2018.
Yeah, around there. And now it's a big group of fans and creators. There's smaller independent creators. There's ex-pros from Marvel, DC, Image. It's a big collection of people, and it's just where you could go for non-woke bullshit. Knowing it's just better comics, and it's a cool scene, and it's a fun place to hang out.
Now that it's 2025, we're in Trump's second term. We're making America great again.
Yes.
We are not allowing men in women's sports.
Mhm.
We are canceling pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Cumia has uncanceled himself and now has
How
a,
is he
a
on an
gig on
ABC?
terrestrial radio.
What?
Does this what does this mean for
Will
ComicsGate?
Marvel and DC see the light and go back to their old ways, making ComicsGate obsolete? I don't think so.
6.5 hours later.
So you don't think there will be a reversal on comics?
I think it's kind of like Star Wars. They've destroyed their core audience so much. No one's looking to come back at this point. They're gone. It's almost 10 years now of just completely. It's a generation lost, and like I've taken nieces and nephews and stuff to go see the the new Star Wars movies, the sequels that came out. They could care less. They didn't. They thought they were shit. They loved Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's their Star Wars.
That's fun and quirky.
They don't. I couldn't pay them to become interested in Star Wars, and it's like there's a whole generation that they lost. They went woke, and to appeal to a phantom audience, which is they're all looking for this
They
phantom
wanted to
audience.
make an audience. They wanted to bend the audience to their. They want to take the existing audience, bend them to their will, and get them to be on board with
Right.
some propaganda bullshit.
And your brain, even if you're on the side of what the propaganda is selling, your brain senses it and kind of just is like, oh, I'm being preached to. Even if it's something you agree with, when it's being preached to, your brain just kind of tunes out, and you're like, this isn't entertainment anymore. I'm being educated on something. Or like, just get to the fucking story. Even if it's your side doing it, you still tune out. It's across the board. Your brain senses propaganda and just has okay, this is not entertainment anymore reflex that goes off.
Right.
And subconsciously you're just out. You tune out. No one's tuning in for that shit because it's all, and it's not even like deeply hidden propaganda. It's surface level.
It's so in your face.
Yeah, it's in your face. They're not even clever enough to try to sneak it in. Like, there was a lot of liberal philosophies put into the old Star Trek episodes, but the main concern was make this an interesting thing, and we throw in a few ideas that you understood they were lefties, and it was fine because the bigger point was they were trying to make an entertainment piece. Entertainment is a distant. Being entertaining the audience is such a distant 10 or 12th priority for fucking making movies and comic books or whatever. Now they could care less whether they got the message has to be sent.
Do you remember any of the subtle messaging that was you said Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Trek,
like, can you remember any examples of
what
they were trying to push?
Well, they had like the first interracial kiss with Kirk and Ahura, and
Ahura?
Yeah. Ahoa.
This is a black girl named Ahoa.
Ahura.
Ahura.
Yeah.
And this is a black woman.
Yes.
Wow.
They were ahead of the game.
They were correct.
You know, there was like a bunch of, you know, they were pushing a lot of the hippie fucking ideals of like, oh, this is a utopian society. There's no war. They need for nothing. You know, it was like they were pushing that, but it also would show like, hey, these are susceptible to evils happening within them, and it was smart. It was smart. It was hokey, but entertainment was their fucking first concern.
Yeah.
It's so far down the list for them now. They don't care if the person's they don't even care if they make money. They'll take the loss. Like, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's like, you'd think by now, like, they've been doing this for nearly a decade of losing, and yet yesterday put out Snow White. It's like, and you're like, are they going to learn? It's like, no.
I compare it to just a diabetic foot. Like, it was dying off for a while. It was not doing well, but they're like, hey, we still got to walk on this foot another 6 months, another year, whatever it is. And now it's finally time to just cut it off and look at prosthetics.
Somebody said I was pronouncing it wrong. It's Ahua.
Ahura. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.